Hello, my name is Scott Monjo. I'm an analytics manager at Deloitte in the Netherlands and also an active researcher at Nijrode Business University. And today's blog topic is about 12 emerging trends in analytics. And I'll just be covering the first three. They'll be released in a series. And so the first three that I've covered have to do with data management and model validation. So the first trend brings up the topic of there being increasing need for specialized data managers. So this has to do with the fact that there's now more and more specialized techniques to manage large sets of data. So, for instance, we are thinking about gathering and serializing data in one place, processing it, and then making it available on a platform so it can be then analyzed. And there's a number of specialized languages that have come out and specialized techniques and technologies. We have things like PIG, which has emerged for serializing data, and we have ways to store the data in Hadoop and then get it out of Hadoop using a number of specialized techniques. And we'll see increasingly that this will constitute a specialized profession. So the idea is that these people will be expert data managers, and that data will increasingly be a dedicated infrastructure service. Now, along with this, we will see the hybridization of analytics specialties and data management specialties. What's increasingly being realized is that in big data sets, there's methodological issues that are very important concerning the selection of data and its preparation and how it's then broken down into test sets and model building sets. So increasingly we'll see professionals who are fluent both in the data engineering side but also in the data analysis side, because these two are so heavily reliant on each other. Finally, I touched on the topic of model validation, which is increasingly we're seeing some very complex analytics models being built, particularly cross-disciplinary models in businesses, such as a marketing model that then crosses over into the finance realm, so that there's an estimate about market competition, how that affects pricing, and then therefore how that should affect manufacturing sizing decisions. So these are increasingly very complicated models, and they also involve behavioral variables just as much as quantitative trend analysis. So the upshot of this is there's an increasing need to have standards associated with validating these models, which is that with the increasing complexity, it can become increasingly arbitrary to the degree to which certain decisions are made in those models, and there's an increasing need for specialists and experts to really fire test and examine the assumptions they've made in these complex models. Indeed, there's a great danger that particularly with agency interests and self-interest in a company, that models are selected which are not representing the phenomenon under examination. So there is real needs to formalize and improve the process of validating business analytics models. Now, the field of finance, especially in banking and insurance, because of regulatory pressure, actually has a very mature validation methodology in most cases. So for instance, associated with Basel III in Europe or Solvency II for the insurance industry in Europe, these have forced insurers and bankers to really be very, very strict about how they create and validate models in their industry. So that is an existing set of best practices which can be adopted in the world of business analytics. The other realm where there's a very strong tradition of model validation is systems engineering. In particular, doing systems engineering using simulation tools. So there's quite a lot of literature on simulation model validation.